Alright, so hopefully y'all are having a great day, night, and or evening. It's a beautiful Sunday for me. Hopefully it's a beautiful Sunday, Monday, or whatever day I release this on for you as well. Remember to like and subscribe before I get into this. So today, let's get into the nitty gritty. My last video, I believe, or a few videos ago, whatever it is, I talked about how Destiny 2 seemed to be dying. Now, today I come to you with how it could possibly have some fixes for it. And I have seen an uptick, and I should, obviously I stream and stuff. You guys watch my videos, so you know that. I've seen an uptick in a lot of more new lights, and my stream has said they've seen a lot of upticks in new lights, and a lot of my stream is actually new players coming in to learn how to do this, that, or the other to try and get into the game itself, because let's not lie, there's a pretty big difference between being capable of playing Destiny 2 and trying to play Destiny 2. It's a very big leap there. You know what I mean? It's either you can do this or you absolutely can't do it at all, because you just don't have what's necessary and you need to be dragged through whatever it is that you're doing currently at that moment. What I'm pretty much going off on the moment is that we need the better capability of being able to communicate with other players. And I know they entered an LFG in-game, which is looking for Guardian or whatever you want to call it, inside the game, and in my opinion, it's not great. I don't like it. You can't put your own text and say exactly what you're doing, exactly where you're at, and what your requirements are for this situation, versus the old style LFG, which is still on your phone or on your PC. That's an app pretty much, where at least the more experienced players are still going to, because A, it looks better, 2, you can say whatever it is you need to say in that, and 3, it's straightforward. You know, the new one kind of sucks. I could put in writing, hey, have a mic, versus I need to select against a bunch of quotes and phrases in this one with a smiley face emoji at the end with a nice water droplet emoji. Get out of here, dude. It's not great. They had that idea. I like it, but if they're going to do it properly, just make it so you can put your own text, what you're going to be doing, and then post it. You could ban words if you really need to ban words. But to be quite honest with you, it's not great. I don't like the new LFG, and if some people do like it, that's perfectly fine. We're going to need different forms of trying to figure out how to make this game continue, because looking for Guardian is only going to help so much. You can only do so much there. At the real end of the day of this process, we need more people to be able to communicate with each other. And one of my biggest grievances is, and some may disagree with me on this, is the community is destroying Destiny 2 as much as Bungie is destroying this game. It is about a 50-50 split right now. If you don't believe me, how hard is it to try and find someone with a mic to play a damn raid? It's almost impossible half the time. There is a 75% chance that person doesn't have a mic, and upon that having a mic, there's a 75% chance that person doesn't even know what they're doing, so you're dragging them through it, forcing yourself to, have to pull an arm and a leg off of yourself to drag this person who is incapable or unwilling to talk or learn through this raid, and then they get pissed off when you don't get through it because they're not great. And don't get me wrong, there's some no mics that are great out there, but this is my experience in a majority of the no mics. They're not great. They just leave, and then you're stuck trying to find other people. And once one leaves, generally 6 more leaves. Well, you can only have a party of 6. 4 more leave at that point, and then you're starting from route 1 again. I think that Bungie needs to make a proper social space where you can go in that social space and everyone's able to talk to each other. You can at least send text and chat, and everyone in that area can see it. This has been a big grievance of mine for a long time. I haven't liked the fact that Bungie never created a proper social space or made it so we have the capability of talking to each other when we're in a location. If I'm running around the Cosmodrome, I want to be able to run up to some random hunter and say something, whatever it is, possibly even help them on their mission, and then just go from there. It is a pain trying to do any of that. It's almost impossible to do that. You have to whisper to them? You mean I'm going up to them and whispering in their ear? Give them a nice little whisper? Get out of here, dude. No, that's ridiculous. There needs to be proper, and I mean proper, chat inside this game that hasn't been there in a long time. And I hear people saying now, but do you remember old school Call of Duty lobbies? Yeah, of course I remember those. When was the last time Call of Duty was like that? It's been years. It isn't like that. It's not even close to like that. You can't even say shit on Call of Duty anymore without getting banned half the time. It's not like that anymore. So to expect it to be in some situation like that versus what it is now as gaming in general, what gaming now is, it's damn near night and day. Okay, we're not in those times where people are just screaming slurs at each other, saying insane things just for fun. I mean, at this point, I want to have everyone look at a game that a lot of cringy content comes from, but is extremely popular still. And just as much cringe lords are in there, there's people who aren't cringy in there too. I've played the game, that's how I know this. And I've always wondered how it survives. VR chat. It is literally a game where you go in and talk to other people. That is the base of the game. That is all you're doing in this game. You do have the opportunity to buy avatars and stuff from other people, or, you know, I mean, VTubers are becoming huge, so if anything, this really made the scale from VR chat to VTuber in popularity happen. Without VR chat to walk, VTubers wouldn't have the opportunity to run. I mean, what was it? Dead Mouse or Minnie Mouse or whatever her name is, Iron Mouse, I think it is. She won Twitch Person of the Year last year or 2 years ago. I don't know, something like that. But she's a VTuber, and I've seen some of her stuff. She's pretty entertaining for the most part. Nothing. I'm not saying anything bad. Before anyone says that, I'm not saying anything bad at all. But she's pretty interesting. But the fact that from a character she created in this game is able to have the capability of creating a multi-$100,000 Twitch channel, I'd imagine, possibly more, and plus some merch and all of that stuff. We're not even covering all the bases there. Off of VR chat alone, which is still a game that's very much alive. I mean, there's 20,000 peoples per just one, like, I guess, instance, they're called? Or not one instance, one world. So a whole bunch of instances, one world. There can be 20,000 people just hanging out in numerous different instances in that one world. So in Destiny, what we could do is make it so, communication is big. We need to open up comms, Bungie. We need to make it so these comms have the capabilities of talking to each other. I want to be able to go up to a random hunter on Europa, yell at him, and say, hey, what you doing? You get what I mean? You know, if I can, I could possibly even help him, or I control him, whatever. You get what I mean? But it still makes the game more entertaining. People these days are looking for content to make, and there's only so much content to make out of Destiny because of how the game is set up on a communication basis. And I know it's a T-rated game, so they're trying to protect, you know, the younger generation who plays it, but at the same time, you're going into a game, you're gonna expect, Roblox has open comms, dude. You're going into a game, you're gonna expect to have crap talk to you. That's just how it is, okay? Not saying, you know, if there aren't downsides, of course you're gonna have your average, you know, possibility of a really crappy troll, but that's with any game. But eventually with Destiny, because of how the leveling system works, no one's going to be able to get through the wall to get into a major, you know, something major happening, like someone's doing a raid or someone's doing a Grandmaster Nightfall. If they're only 1900 light level, they're not going to be able to do that. The worst they could do is go on Nessus and mess around with people, if that at best. And there's still a block button on there. You can just block the other player if you really needed to. It's really not that crazy of an idea or a concept. This game needs communication to survive, but this game isn't all. That's not all the game needs to survive. Now, I want to point you to another game, Warframe. Warframe has become very popular among the Destiny community for very good reason. It's because it has a lot of what Destiny doesn't have. Open market, which I'm about to get into, and it also has 50,000 concurrent players, which is more than Destiny at the moment, and it's consistent upon that. I think right now Destiny is at, so Destiny Steam charts, but Steam charts don't always tell everything. I understand that. It's at 42,000, which really isn't bad. That's actually really good for Destiny at the moment, and I'm glad to see those numbers. Warframe has been at a consistent 50,000 for at least the past week, maybe over that. And in the past 48 hours, it's been even above that upon year. It hasn't reached what Destiny has upon the last year, but let me tell you, around November, when the episode for Fickle dropped, I forgot what it was called. I already don't remember what it's called because it was such a boring episode. The rise in Warframe players has happened all the way up to 119,000 players, okay? 119,000 players because Destiny, at least in my experience, a lot of Destiny players moved over there because it was something different but similar, if that makes any sense. But a lot of players stay because A, they have a constant communication network through just basic text and chat, and B, because there's a market where a creator can make this costume, make this or that, and put it into the game. And I'm pretty sure whoever the owners of Warframe are take a certain percentage out of that, and the creator gets the rest. Now, I think we could do this in Destiny. Hear me out here. Before you say, no, this is impossible, we can't do this, who thought this was a good idea? Let me continue here. We have plenty of shaders in this game. We have plenty of armor things in this game. That costs Bungie a lot of time and resources to release those. And this isn't me saying that Bungie should completely stop releasing or doing those. That's not my answer at all. But if there is a community-driven market for shaders and different looks for helmets, gauntlets, so on and so forth, maybe not only could we have amazing-looking warlocks, okay, tremendous look, because there's only a few things that look good on warlocks. we're being honest. But we could have just an amazing, more thought out community, and this game becomes more than a game. It becomes a game plus a business for other people to invest into. I mean, there's other games that are majorly successful, such as RuneScape and World of Warcraft, where they have that same market situation going on, and these people can make a lot of money. Now, I know part of the market for RuneScape and World of Warcraft is selling weapons as well, and I don't know if Destiny should expand that much, but people spend a lot of money on skins alone, dude. Like, a lot of freaking money. Now imagine if you had someone doing free labor, upload a skin to your network, and you take 25% off of that, 15%, whatever the situation is. Go for whatever the median rate is from most games that are taking money from that, making money off of it, and putting it in their pocket. Look at CSGO even. Look at CSGO. Okay, they get a certain percentage of every sale that happens in that game. It will make the game blast off 10 times more because people aren't just invested in the game, they're invested financially because you can make money, and they're invested in general because the game and the community would be even closer together. It'd be one of those things where it can not only help expand the community, but keep the community even when Destiny is at the lowest of lows in those moments in time. And right now, luckily, Heresy is not the lowest of lows. I mean, if you're anything like me, I've said this before, Hive is the best thing this game has to offer. That's why, honestly, I hope Orcs comes back as a Guardian, or somehow he comes back. I don't know how, but somehow he comes back. I've always wanted that. I don't think the Hive story should ever end. I don't want that Pantheon to ever end because I don't know who they're going to replace it with. What is it? I can't even remember their name. The stupid fat robots that Callus has? No, get out of here. I can't believe I can't remember those names right now. You know what I'm talking about, though. This season is successful because it's going off the backs of the Hive versus, the Cabal. Versus, if we had a Cabal season, yes, it would be popular, but it wouldn't be as popular as the Hive. The Hive is currently the best, our biggest quote-unquote enemy at this moment, and continues to be, because they have been the opposite of everything we have been for such a long time. Versus the Cabal were just there because their world was destroyed by the Witness's whirlwind. The Elixir are there because the Traveler left them and their pirates, and they decided to leave with the Traveler until Aramis left, which is perfectly okay. You know, I thought that Fikrul and Aramis, it's about time for Fikrul to die. I thought it was time for him to die. It's about damn time. I like that. And it was time for Aramis to leave because she served no purpose in the story anymore. I'm hoping that maybe one day we'll be able to go on her planet and help her rebuild it, possibly. Show her that we're not always the bad guys. But if we had an open market, we had an open communications network, and had the capability of selling at least armor shaders and different versions of what armor looks like, I have a feeling that we'd be much better off as a game in general, making a lot more revenue for Destiny and Bungie to be able to invest even more time and money into Destiny, because currently Destiny can be a big old money pit at times. If it doesn't sell the expansion well, the game doesn't do well. That's the end of the story. That's how it is. Versus if it doesn't sell an expansion well, and you have a market and people are selling something on a market that looks really cool, and this is a limited thing and only 5 to 10 people can have it, and they're selling each one for $100 and 10% of the and you get a 25% off that $100, it's still going well. And that's just for one example, okay? Because this is a market that could go pretty kind of crazy. People want to look drippy in this game, and there's only so much drip that Bungie could pump out without having to pay these devs thousands upon thousands of dollars just to figure out how to make one piece of armor, which they deserve. I'm sure it's extremely complex, but a community-driven situation like that means kind of free labor situation. And like I said again, I don't want Bungie to stop making their official armor. That's not what I want at all. I want them to continue making their official armor. I just want to have the capability for them to not only make money this way, but for the community to be even more involved than having a movie of the week. What's that going to do for us? Or some artwork that has been AI generated a few times. It's not going to do much. And at the end of the day, I love this game. This is my favorite game. This is my buddy asked me this question the other day, and I had to really sit there and think. If you could play one game over again, like you never played it again, what would it be? And I've played plenty of games that have been wonderful and amazing video games. But the first thing that came to my mind would be Destiny, because when I first played this game and touched it and jumped around and ran. It was like freaking magic. It was nothing I've ever seen before. I was a PlayStation kid. I didn't really get to play Halo unless I was going over to a buddy's house. It was unfortunate. I always liked Halo. I thought it was interesting, but when I saw Destiny was releasing on PS3 and it was by the company that made Halo, one of the largest franchises to ever exist in Xbox history, I instantly knew it was going to be a classic. And 10, 11 years, however many years later, it's still around, but it's facing a lot of problems, and I want these problems to be fixed so I can continue to play this game. I don't want there to be any more problems. And I know that there's other things that could totally be fixed, but I think that a way of generating more money will fix a lot of these problems, and B, we won't have to continue to fire people. Bungie can be paid to pretty much exclusively just make really good freaking content. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all really looking for, is really good content, instead of, because half the armor that comes out for Warlock is kind of ugly. Titan, it's alright. And Hunter, you could barely tell the armor pieces between each other. Give the community a try. Let them come in, let them make some armor, take your money out of it. It sounds a little grimy, and some people are not going to agree with me on this, but I think once you see a situation like this and how it works, and that a person who makes good artwork can actually make money off of their art, as well as help keep Bungie afloat, it'll make a massive boom in this game from where we have a few 100,000 per week to possibly upward to 500,000 in 1 week, maybe 1 million even if we get that lucky. But it'd bring a large boost because it will directly reflect on how well we can develop a proper expansion, and we can go back to large expansions, and we don't have to make it seem like these seasons are just little itty bitties in between expansions just to kind of hold you over, kind of like taking half of a puff of a cigarette versus smoking 5 whole packs at once. We can continuously have what we need to have them pump out good stuff on a constant note. I'm not against necessarily community-driven ornaments for weapons either, you know, a one of one that can obviously go up in price, but I am kind of against the idea of Bungie letting people build a one of a one gun that is ridiculously OP and is selling for thousands of dollars, is made by the community, only because that one person would always make contest mode by themselves. Maybe later in the day, you know, like if someone, so this is my idea. Another part of it, let's say 5 people get, or one person gets 5 Eyes of Tomorrow, you should be able to buy that Eyes of Tomorrow if you want from someone else, so they can then have Eyes of Tomorrows, even if they didn't do that raid or that activity. Yes, I know it shows you don't grind, but maybe you could put a little poster on the bottom of there that says bought, or bought from, or originated from. You know what I mean? To really show that they didn't earn it, this person earned it, and they just bought it for $16 or however much they want to sell it. I mean, how many people still want the Vex Mythic class but don't have it? The amount of times I've had Vex dropped for me, and that would mean that you couldn't take exotics anymore out of your special vault where you could buy them. That'd probably mean the canceling of that. You know, there's some people that grind enough where that doesn't matter. Like I said, this is just a possibility. You know, I don't think it'd start off immediately like that. I think even it'd be better to start it off with a new game like that instead. You'd be much better off doing that, because it'd be hard to insert into Destiny 2. I think the community-driven shaders and ornaments would work perfectly fine in Destiny 2 if properly programmed in. And I also think that the having communications and comms constantly open for everyone would be very easy and better done in Destiny 2 right now even. I'm sure it's just a few programming things I have to throw in to make it open mic and able to do probably IP mic, I'd imagine it is. IP mic directly to their voice over IP, directly to their servers, so you can talk to someone on Europa without having to whisper and send a text message to them over the game. It's ridiculous. But overall, I think those are a few things that could fix Destiny. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If there's anything else you could think of, go ahead and let me know. Feel free to like the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Hopefully y'all have a great day, night, and or evening. And like usual, I'm going to be streaming tonight. Come by and see what's going on. I'll talk to you all soon. Once again, thanks for the, oh yeah, I want to do this. I have 162 frickin' subs, guys. 162 of you have subscribed to me. I wanted to thank every single one of you for that. Y'all are dope as hell. Thank you once again. Have a great day, night, and or evening. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave me a little like, leave me a little subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace out, y'all.